They call it the closest planet similar to Earth. And at first, it's easy to believe. You stand on the edge of twilight, where an eternal sunset meets an endless night. Beneath the soft red glow of its star, you see mountains both ahead of you and behind. Some glowing hot, others dark and frozen solid. Everything feels calm. It seems like a place where you could set up camp, maybe even go hiking. And then the sky explodes. The gentle sun you were admiring just seconds ago unleashes a radioactive storm powerful enough to fry your DNA. Proxima Centauri b lies just 4.2 light-years from Earth, and it's also a perfect example of why you should always read the fine print before booking a one-way ticket. The star it orbits, Proxima Centauri, has violent temper tantrums in the form of massive stellar flares, regularly bombarding the planet with enough radiation to sterilize its surface over and over again. So, if you're still tempted to visit, better pack sunscreen with a protection factor of 1,000,000 and at least 10 lead umbrellas. Trust me, you'll need every single one. And if that's what the closest so-called Earth-like world does to you, just wait until you see what the others have prepared. Today, we're traveling across the most extreme exoplanets in the galaxy, trying to stay alive and sane. Now you know to stay away from red dwarfs, but the opposite extreme can be even more brutal. Meet Ogle 2005 BLG 390 pound, a super-Earth located nearly on the other side of the galaxy, about 21,500 light-years away. With a mass 5 times that of Earth, you might expect crushing gravity. And yes, but also no. Thanks to its larger size, gravity on the surface is actually surprisingly tolerable. You step onto the cracked, icy plains of this alien world and gaze at the sky where a faint red star flickers. The horizon stretches endlessly, a shattered ocean of frozen debris. And then you feel it. Your visor instantly fogs over. This planet is often called the real-life version of Hoth from Star Wars. But let me tell you, compared to this frozen hellscape, Hoth is practically a tropical paradise. Temperatures here plunge to around minus 220 degrees Celsius, colder than liquid nitrogen. And unlike Pluto, which may be even colder, this world has an atmosphere that relentlessly steals your body heat. So, if you're desperate to live out your Empire Strikes Back fantasy, put on a nuclear-grade parka over your spacesuit, ski goggles to keep your visor from freezing, and bring at least 3 tauntauns. Yes, those tauntauns. Some exoplanets practically force you to hum the Star Wars theme. Kepler 16b is one of them. Located about 200 light-years from Earth, this gas giant is roughly the size of Saturn, but only half the mass of Jupiter. But what truly makes it special is that it orbits not 1, but 2 stars. You'll need to explore one of its rocky moons, since walking on a gas giant isn't exactly an option. Take in the view. Towering cliffs, rolling dunes of scorched orange sand, and 2 blazing suns setting in perfect tandem on the horizon. You can almost picture Luke Skywalker standing beside you, staring into the distance, as John Williams' music echoes in your mind. For a moment, it truly feels like the perfect Star Wars sunset. Until night falls. Then it becomes pure mercury, a temperature swing of over 600 degrees Celsius between day and night, thanks to the lack of an atmosphere. The same goes for this real-life Tatooine twin. Still committed to living out your fantasy? Fine. but pack heat-proof space boots that won't melt or freeze solid. A reliable droid companion to fix gear shattered by thermal shock, and binoculars to spot Jawas before they strip your ship for parts. Some planets belong in the extreme sports category, and this one tries to kill you, in style. Meet 55 Cancri E, a rocky super-Earth just 41 light-years away.
It's about twice Earth's size, yet 8 times its mass. You might expect crushing gravity, but that's not the problem. The problem is that this place is literal hell. The moment you land, rivers of glowing lava snake across the surface like molten neon. Above, a dark sky flickers faintly as iron snow rains down. This is pure heavy metal. The planet orbits so close to its star that surface temperatures exceed 2,300 degrees Celsius, hot enough to vaporize iron. Nearly half the planet is a raging ocean of molten rock, constantly boiling and cracking, as if the crust itself is trying to shake you off. Picture Mustafar from Star Wars, only here, Anakin and Obi-Wan would instantly turn into crispy nuggets. But if you somehow possess proper sci-fi grade thermal protection, lava surfing is definitely worth a try. You'll be orders of magnitude cooler than anyone on Earth. Just try not to fall. So bring a heat-proof hoverboard worthy of the Silver Surfer, plenty of aloe vera ointment for the inevitable burns, and a freshly signed will, just in case. Some truly extreme planets can't decide whether they want to be hot or cold, like Gliese 436b. This strange little world lies just 30 light-years away. Roughly Neptune-sized, it has over 20 times Earth's mass, and one unbelievable feature: hot ice. Step onto its shimmering surface, and the scene looks surreal. Ice stretches endlessly, glowing beneath the faint orange light of its star. Yet your suit's sensors scream, surface temperature exceeds 400 degrees Celsius, hotter than Venus, hot enough to melt lead. And still, the ice remains solid. This isn't some spa trick. The planet's gravity is so intense that it crushes water molecules into a bizarre crystalline structure known as hot ice, technically Ice 7, which stays solid under hellish temperatures thanks to extreme pressure. It's literally fire and ice. But don't celebrate yet. The crushing pressure would likely flatten you instantly.
My advice? Don't go down there. Send pressure-resistant probes instead, like the ones we sent to Venus, and hook up a VR headset. If one of them survives long enough, you might glimpse the world of burning ice. Not as cool as standing there yourself, but much safer. And now, as compensation, enjoy something truly impossible: a planet made of cotton candy. TOI 6894b, recently discovered around a red dwarf star about 240 light-years away, looks like a typical gas giant at first glance. But although it's nearly Jupiter-sized, it's at least 8 times lighter, which means its density is lower than cotton candy. It's essentially a massive cloud of hot gas, barely holding itself together. If you find yourself floating there, it feels like drifting through a dream. Endless pink clouds glowing softly in all directions, until it hits you. There is no real bottom. This planet is so low density that if your tether snaps, you'll sink forever. It's peaceful, beautiful, and absolutely terrifying. So, if you're planning this one-way trip,
You'll need a personal hover bike with emergency boosters, an oxygen supply longer than your nerve supply, and an ultra-strong graphene tether. Without it, you'll become just another ghost drifting through endless clouds. But maybe you prefer something smooth and solid. Then I've got a brilliant destination for you. About 4,000 light-years away lies a planet unlike anything else in the galaxy. It orbits a millisecond pulsar, a rapidly spinning dead neutron star blasting radiation through space, and its surface sparkles like a jewelry store explosion. Mountains of razor-sharp crystal scatter the deadly light into blinding fragments. This world is 4 times wider than Earth, yet hundreds of times heavier. Gravity here is so intense that carbon crystallized into solid diamond. Some scientists believe it was once a star, a white dwarf, stripped down by its pulsar companion. What remains is a diamond planet.
If you possess anti-gravity technology, visiting would feel surreal, decadent even. But before you carve out a souvenir, remember where you are. Orbiting a pulsar spinning hundreds of times per second, blasting radiation strong enough to cook your suit and scramble your DNA. So bring a Geiger counter, just to know how fast you're dying. A diamond drill if you plan on stealing a piece, and of course, a lead-lined tuxedo. If you're going out, go out in style. Some planets are beautiful in the same way a sharp knife is beautiful. HD 189733b, known as Smertrios, lies about 250 light-years away. It orbits dangerously close to its star, a blazing F-type sun. Despite being a gas giant the size of Saturn, its massive rocky core and crushing atmosphere make it brutal. As you descend, the sky glows brilliant yellow and orange, pierced by violent flashes of lightning. Then you feel it. Tiny impacts on your helmet. A faint hiss. Your visor begins to scratch. It's raining molten glass. Intense heat and pressure force silicate vapor to condense into droplets of liquid glass, forming lethal storms. And as if that weren't enough, sapphire dust falls alongside it, turning the sky into a deadly snow globe. Temperatures exceed 1,500 degrees Celsius. Winds reach thousands of kilometers per hour, hurling glass shards like a hellish blender. This is a storm worthy of a god. To survive even briefly, you'll need reinforced armor, a blast-resistant visor, and maybe a BFG, just in case demons show up. Some planetary systems simply don't respect personal space. Kepler-36 is the most uncomfortable neighborhood in the galaxy. 2 planets orbit so closely that when they approach, only a few million kilometers separate them. From Kepler-36b, you'd see a Neptune-sized gas giant looming overhead. Every 97 days, tidal forces stretch and twist the planet's crust, triggering massive earthquakes. The ground shudders. The horizon trembles. But where else can you stand beneath an entire planet and feel like it might fall on you? It's terrifying and magnificent. So pack wisely, a stabilizing exoskeleton, ear protection for constant quakes, and something strong to calm your nerves as that colossal world silently glides above you. Some vacations end loudly. Let's finish ours quietly. About 750 light-years away lies Trees 2b, a gas giant the size of Jupiter, but darker than fresh asphalt, and nearly as black as a black hole's event horizon. It reflects less than 1% of incoming light.
Descending into its atmosphere feels like your helmet just shut off. Beneath you, infinite darkness. This is the darkest known planet, and strangely, peaceful. After firestorms, glass rain, and molten oceans, this emptiness swallows you completely. So if this is your final stop, bring industrial floodlights, if you really need to see, and a therapist's phone number on speed dial, in case the darkness starts creeping inside. So, of all these worlds, which would you visit, and which would you avoid at any cost? Share your extreme travel preferences in the comments.